Hello, I'm Nova, and you're watching the Nova Briefcase channel. On December 2nd, 2015, two individuals entered a party hosted by employees at the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino, California, and opened fire, killing 14 people and injuring around 22 others. After a 4-hour pursuit, the police managed to take them down. The FBI then got hold of one of the shooters' phones belonging to Rizwan Farouk. His phone was an iPhone 5C. They tried to unlock it but couldn't, so they went to court to get a warrant forcing Apple to unlock the phone. But Apple refused. Wait, what? A tech company said no to the US government? And not just in any situation. This was a terrorist case where several innocent people were killed. This isn't about a political prisoner or a minor crime. This guy was a killer, a terrorist. Actually, my dear subscriber, over the years Apple has grown to become one of the biggest and most powerful companies in the world. Its market value, which is in the trillions of dollars, has made it richer than many countries, and has allowed it to say to one of the most important institutions in the US, "Nope, I'm not going to do what you ask, even if you're right." So the question we're trying to answer in this episode is, how did Apple become the company it is today? After returning to Apple, Steve Jobs would show up every year at the Worldwide Developers Conference, unveiling a new product that would amaze the world, such as the iMac, iPhone, iPad, iPod, and iTunes. He was famous for his punchline, "One more thing," which he used to reveal a mind-blowing new surprise. When the iPod was released, right after the dot-com bubble burst in late 2001, it was a huge deal, in the midst of the crises that America was going through. Steve used his connections with artists to offer them a solution to digital piracy, which was causing major losses to music producers due to platforms like Napster, where people were downloading songs for free. Steve came up with a practical solution by introducing iTunes, where fans could legally purchase those songs. All of this paved the way for Apple's most powerful product, the iPhone. Unfortunately, about 4 years later, in 2011, Steve Jobs passed away, leaving behind a vast legacy of creativity and innovation. Now, of course, dear subscriber, you might ask me, could Apple have grown even bigger if Steve were still around? Honestly, I don't know. What I do know is that Steve, unlike many CEOs, punished cautious thinking, and that led to a lot of creativity. But who knows? Maybe he would have caused a lot of problems as well. You have to understand, Steve wasn't an angel. He was a destructive force within the company. He bullied employees, was arrogant, stubborn, and egotistical. Wait, what? What are you saying? You must be an Android user, or maybe Bill Gates sent you. What are you saying about Saint Steve Jobs? Well, dear subscriber, this was confirmed according to many people who worked with and were associated with him. And yes, his death did slow down innovation, but under Tim Cook's leadership, the company is still growing and expanding. Scott Galloway, in his book The Four, says that the strategy Apple has followed since Steve Jobs to reach its current position is to position itself as a luxury brand. To achieve massive profits, Apple adopted a marketing technique called limited monopoly. For example, in 2016, Apple held only 14% of the smartphone market, while Samsung had 20%. However, Apple took 80% of the profits from the smartphone market, while Samsung, despite having a larger share, earned only 14% of the market's income. Nova, are you sure about this? I'm not joking, dear subscriber, and what I'm about to tell you is a very important lesson. What is luxury branding? These are products that sell you an illusion or a promise of upward mobility when you buy them. They sell you something far beyond their tangible utility. Louis Vuitton isn't just clothing to cover your body. Maybach isn't just a means of transportation. Patek Philippe isn't just a watch to keep track of time. And according to Scott Galloway, Apple is the brand that turned the cell phone into a luxury brand. It transformed the phone from a communication device that started with a simple "hello" to something you pose with in front of a bathroom mirror to make sure the Apple logo is visible in the picture. After Apple struggled to compete in the computer battle of the 1980s and 1990s against Microsoft, they decided to target different audiences. They thought, we want to create a product that people love and get attached to, something that makes you look cool, dope, and attractive. And that's exactly what happened with the iPod, which was a technological revolution at the time. Its storage capacity was 5 gigabytes, which might seem small now, but back then its main competitor, a device from Toshiba, had a storage of just 128 megabytes. The iPod was sleek and stored your entire music library. It was portable, small enough to carry in your hand so people could see it and be impressed. You could even slip it into your pocket, unlike the bulky Macintosh that sat on a desk. And that's how Apple transformed into a luxury brand, not just a tech company. Forbes magazine reported that the iPhone XS Max cost Apple $450 to produce. Guess how much they sold it for when it launched back in 2018? It was priced at $1,250. And that, dear subscriber, is because you're not just buying a phone. You're buying admiration, respect, and prestige. You're purchasing a social status upgrade and class privileges. When the era of e-commerce began in the late 1990s with the rise of Amazon and eBay, it was clear this was the future. Steve Jobs, however, went against all the advice he was given and decided to open a physical store. This move was heavily criticized for being old-fashioned, but this retail chain had a profound and transformative impact on the company. These beautiful, clean, organized, and modern stores are what placed Apple on the luxury brand map. Steve's vision was to cement this image in people's minds when they see Apple stores side by side with luxury brands in upscale neighborhoods around the world, which boosted the company's value and that of its products. These products offer a special experience. The brand becomes sacred, the founder a spiritual leader, and the store a temple. Customers defend the holy brand, promote it, and spread the word like true believers. This strategy led to the decline of companies like Motorola, BlackBerry, and Nokia. Nokia, at its peak, accounted for 30% of the Finnish economy. Imagine that, 30% of the economy of an entire European country. And they paid 25% of Finland's taxes. Now, they're completely out of the competition. Apple has excelled at leveraging its advertising narrative, thanks to the heroic character of Steve Jobs with his cinematic biography. Rise, fall, rise again, and a tragic ending, combined with over 500 retail stores around the world, which pushed Apple's stock through the roof and made the company's value exceed its practical benefits. A product that makes you part of something bigger, and a price tag that puts you in the bourgeois class, even if you're not really part of it, gives you a sense of belonging just by buying that luxury product. This is what gave Apple the highest loyalty rate among competitors. Most iPhone owners only upgrade to another iPhone, even if it comes without a charger or headphones. The number of iPhone users has surpassed 1 billion. Yes, at this price point, dear subscriber, it's the narrative that drives people to buy. Do you see this jersey? The cost of making it doesn't exceed $50, yet it's sold for millions. Why, dear subscriber? Because there's a story behind it, and that's what makes the difference. This jersey was worn by Kobe Bryant during his NBA games, and since his untimely death in 2020, which caused a wave of grief and solidarity among fans, and due to his legendary career and tragic end, his jerseys, instead of going to the laundry, are being auctioned off for millions. Similarly, when you buy a Tesla, you're not just buying an electric ride, you're buying into Elon Musk. And when you subscribe to our channel, you're not just joining an ordinary channel, you're now part of Nova's Alpha Wolf Pack. That's the power of a story, and how it elevates the value of things. This is exactly why Apple refused to ruin their own story, and refused to comply with the US government's orders, all to protect the privacy of one of their customers, regardless of who that customer was, even if they were a terrorist. So what do you think about this story, dear subscriber? Share your thoughts in the comments. Peace out.